this is Bruce Apar of North County News from our NCN TV studio in Yorktown, bringing you this week's major stories hot off the press. And of course, at the top of the news this week were the Empire State Games, which were in Westchester for the first time in their 30-year history. And we feature a lot of hometown heroes who did very well in the Empire State Games. Our sports staff was all over it, and so you'll be wanting to read about that this week in the paper. And then over in Croton, business owners are talking about how to fill vacant stores. There's been a lot of vacant lots and empty stores in Croton that they want to make sure don't go empty for too long. Lakeland High gets high marks this week for its pizza, as well as overall food service, and it's featured in a new instructional video that we write about on our page 1 that you'll want to read. And then this weekend, of course, is the highly anticipated Peekskill celebration, starting Friday, August 3rd through Sunday, August 5th. And there's all kinds of music and events and rides and a lot of activities going on. And of course, North County News and Yorktown Penny Saver will be there, so come visit us. At the same time in Peekskill, our reporter Sam Barron reports on a war of words for a change between the Republicans and Democrats, who now are arguing over whose idea is this anyhow. And then in Cortland, charges actually have been dropped against the Ncn Hot students who pulled that alarm clock prank that got them in hot water. Now they'll just have to do community service for the next several months. And then over in Yorktown, there's the curious case of a candidate who wanted to run for supervisor on the independence line and had to collect 35 signatures. She actually collected 37. However, not one of them was ruled valid, and so she won't be running on anybody's line for supervisor. And then in our guest commentary, Democratic Chair in Yorktown, Joe Apicella, wonders, is it really giving voters more choice to have one person trying to run on every party line for town justice? And the always colorful Anthony Bazzo says this week that in Putnam Valley, Wetzel logic is pretzel logic, referring to Councilman Wendy Wetzel, who he says has switched her allegiance on a very critical vote involving a development. And then also you'll want to read about the Jefferson Valley Lanes Bowling Alley reopening this October, a very exciting open mic night in Putt Valley, where you can find affordable space if you're a small business, space that makes you look bigger and better. And then there's our weekly dining feature, outdoor dining all around the area. And then of course our always helpful and comprehensive bulletin board that lets you know what's going on. So again, this is Bruce Apar of North County News for NCN TV, hot off the press.